Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Happy Monday to all of you. Did we have a great time yesterday during the live stream or what? Well, as always, ladies and gentlemen, when we have so many of you in the chats, I always miss a bunch of questions, and they're good questions at that. So I want to start off by going over a message for you and then a couple of requests, and then we'll get on to all of the questions that I missed. And the first one is this one right here. I'm going to read it to you. This is from Tom Larson. He says, I got a message to text you about my win. I assume it was fake, complete with number to text to. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. This is the message that Tom got. He got a reply to one of his comments, and as you can see right here, it says, you can see it's got my thumbnail on it, and it says, text this number. Congratulations, contact the number above to claim your prize. I would never, ever, ever, ever provide to you a phone number on a reply or on a comment that I put myself. I would never do that. This is a scam, and from what I understand, I haven't heard of anyone within the Alaska Prepper community that says that they have actually gone through and gotten scammed, but I have heard of it happening on other channels where people lose a lot of money, especially financial channels. So please do not fall for this. I went ahead and replied to Tom so that I can show you the difference between a fake account and my account, all right? The real Alaska Prepper channel account. This is the fake account right here. This is me. I replied to Tom. As you can see, my thumbnail is actually a little bit better than this one, but that's not what you want to go by. You want to go by, you can see my name right next to it, and you can see that it has a check mark. Okay? And then I put down here, hello Tom, the reply to your comment where you are being provided a phone number is not me. This is a scammer, so please do not call the number that has been provided. I would never provide anyone a phone number and a reply or comment. Right, ladies and gentlemen, please, it would break my heart if someone out there within the comments of one of the videos that I put up falls for this scam and gets taken advantage of. So please be careful. I will never do this. So please understand that this is not me. Okay. Now I wanted to talk about a couple of things. They're both pretty serious. One, in my opinion, a little more serious than the other. And that's Old Man River. I missed one of his comments on yesterday's live stream, and Old Man River is an old-time subscriber. He's been with us for a long time, right? And he had to go to the hospital because he has a bad infection on one of his legs. So if you pray, please pray for Old Man River. Like I said, he's been with us for a long time. If you don't pray, just send some positive energies through thought over his way, because I believe it works, ladies and gentlemen. All right, whether you believe so or not, I believe it works, and you can do it if you want to, obviously. But Old Man River, sorry that I missed your comment yesterday. I know that you tried to get a hold of me a couple of times during the chats, but man, they just go so fast sometimes that I do miss a lot of them, and that's why I do these videos. The second one is one that is of a very, very, very serious nature. Not saying that Old Man Rivers is not a serious nature, but this one, ladies and gentlemen, it just breaks my heart. All right, so we have a community member, and his name is Derek Gilbert. That's what he goes by. And I contacted him yesterday. He provided me his phone number. If you were in the live stream, you would have noticed that I said, Derek, send me your phone number so I can call you. Right? So Derek and his wife and his daughter, I believe this is a small daughter, they were in a terrible car accident. I try not to get emotional, and I'm going to save you some of the gory details because I talked to Derek yesterday. They were in a terrible car accident where his wife got the blunt of the injuries. Thank God Derek and his daughter didn't, get hurt nearly as bad as his wife. But his wife is currently in the hospital, and they have her medicated, very medicated, because, like I said, she got the blunt of the force. The vehicle that hit her on her side, and it was going like 60 miles an hour. So from what I understand, that vehicle that hit her never even tried stopping. I don't know all of the intricacies of actually what happened. I did talk to Derek for a while yesterday, but what it comes down is she really needs your prayers. And right now, she's not even conscious, and it's been a few days already. And also, I asked Eric this, all right? I asked him this. I asked him, do you have a GoFundMe that you can provide? And I will go ahead and put it out there so that if anyone in the Alaska Prepper community has the ability, if you do, prayers are more important, in my opinion. All right, positive energy works. But if you have the ability to help him out and his family, and remember, he did not ask me. I asked him. If you have the ability to provide for him and his family the massive hospital bills that they're going to be getting, then if it's in your heart to do so, then do so. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and provide to you on a pinned comment of this video the GoFundMe that will take you to their page. And like I said, if you have the ability, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and make a small contribution on behalf of the Alaska Prepper community, but many hands do make little work. So even if everyone that watches this video, if you have the ability, if you go there and give $1 or $2, everyone that watches the video, if you have the ability and you can give $1 or $2, it doesn't have to be a lot. If you think that $1 is shameful, I don't know why you would think that, but just leave it as an anonymous donor. All right, it doesn't have to be a lot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have the ability, please go help out if you can. You can read the story. This GoFundMe was not put up by Derek, obviously, or his wife. It was put up by a friend of theirs without him even knowing at first. So I talked to Eric yesterday for about 45 minutes or so. Seems to me like he's a very good individual. He is a veteran, all right, ex-Army. And his wife is a veteran as well. All right, so again, your prayers would be appreciated, and I'm really praying that his wife gets better very soon. All right, so Derek, if you need anything, you've got my phone number. All you have to do is send me a text or give me a call. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get to the Q&A that I missed during our live stream. And the first one here is Debbie. How is the grandbaby? Bet he is getting big. Michael is getting big. He is so cute, all right? He is very attentive. He smiles a lot and giggles a lot. And yes, he's already peed on me once, okay? But he's doing great. I mean, very blessed. Not only am I very blessed, but his parents, my son and my daughter-in-law, are very blessed to have a healthy child that seems to be doing what he's supposed to be doing, eating, pooping, sleeping, and growing. All right, so thank you very much for asking. The next one is from Elaine Skinner. How would an EMP affect people with defibrillators? I do not know, Elaine. I wish that I could tell you, give you concrete data on this. I've heard so many things from both sides. I've heard about an EMP shield that it works. I've heard from other sides that an EMP shield does not work. I do know that EMP shield was contracted with by the military, and supposedly they use their product, but I don't know that for a fact. All right, so what I would say is the only thing that I think that would be kind of foolproof for you to use personally, okay, because I'm not an expert on this, is to make a very good Faraday cage. Make a very good Faraday cage and make sure that it's grounded, and then from there you go. You go from there, right? You know, as a backup, try to have as many tools as you can that are hand operated instead of electrical devices that we are all used to today. But I cannot tell you how it would work. I just really don't know. I'm not an expert on that. Paul Frank asks, your thoughts on gold backs? I mean, gold backs is real money / currency, meaning that the money is within the gold backs itself, which is the currency. All right. And personally, as far as bringing my wealth forward to the future and preserving my wealth, I think that gold backs have a very, very high premium. I would say probably at least 100% premium or more. I understand why. It's because the premium is what allows the gold backs to exist, right? So if a gold back has, let's say, $1 worth of gold, but it costs you $2 to buy one, it's because it takes $1 worth of labor, transportation, energy, etc. in order to transfer that $1 worth of gold into that note, into that currency. So I understand why it has a high premium. Could it be used for barter? Absolutely, as long as the people that you are bartering with goldbacks were willing to accept them. Personally, I would rather just put back constitutional silver, i.e. dimes, quarters, half dollars, dollars that are made out of 90% silver. I would personally rather put those away instead of goldbacks because I think that people in general are more receptive to those coins that we are already used to seeing in everyday circulation. So I'm not saying that goldbacks are bad. I'm just saying that personally I prefer to store my wealth or preserve my purchasing power in a different way than goldbacks. Jojo Monster asked a great question. I would love to know, can you dehydrate sofrito? You can dehydrate sofrito. However, I would make sure that I made my own sofrito and that I would keep the oil out of it. My sofrito recipe has olive oil in it. And usually what I'll do is I'll make a big block of sofrito and then I'll freeze it. And then once it starts getting a little bit hard in the freezer, I'll go in there and I'll cut pieces. That way, when I want to take it out, I can take out one chunk at a time. But that has oil in it. If I was going to make sofrito so that I could dehydrate it, I would make it the same way I make it now, but without the oil. Sister Gabriela, hello and welcome. I am so sorry. Sister Gabriela says, JT, this is the 4th live I've made, and not once has Rudy seen my name, much less said hello. Well, I'm sorry about that, Sister Gabriela, all right? Thank you very much for joining in our live stream, all right? Thank you for that, and I just thought I'd give you a shout out right now because guess what? I'll probably miss you next time as well, but I'll try not to. And the next one, ladies and gentlemen, Catherine Condre. On the solar generators, will it tell you what size of solar panels you need to charge it? Pretty much any solar generator that you have is going to have a charge controller, right? Which is what restricts the amount of wattage and or voltage going through on the input to charge your battery inside your solar generator. Okay, I hope I said that right. So from my experience, if you try to overcharge it with wattage, the controller is only going to accept the max amount of wattage that you can put into it. So let's say, for example, you have a charge controller that will only accept a max amount of 100 watts. If you put a 120 watt solar panel on that, it's only going to accept the max amount of watts. However, what you have to be careful with, and this is why you need to read your owner's manual, is the amount of voltage. So a way that you can increase the voltage coming in to your solar generator is by daisy chaining your solar panels, by putting them what is called in series, right? You can daisy chain your solar panels in parallel, which means that the voltage would stay at 12 volts going in to your solar generator, or you can daisy chain them in series, which means that if you have, let's say, for example, 4 solar panels, then if you daisy chain them in series, the voltage will add up. So 4 times 12 will be 48 volts. So you need to make sure that you read your owner's manual. For example, I do believe that the Blue Eddy will accept up to, I think it's 50 volts. Right? I think it's 50 volts altogether, 50 or 60. Right? I never daisy chain my solar panels in series. I always do it in parallel to make sure that I never have that problem. But pretty much any solar generator that you have will accept any solar panel as long as you have the right connector that will connect to your solar generator. But ladies and gentlemen, what I have to say most importantly is this. Make sure to read the owner's manual. It is what it is. Asks, does the OPS use the same solar panels as the Blue Eddy? Same thing with the OPS. You can pretty much put any solar panel on it that you want. I have to say that the solar panel that came with the OPS that I was sent, man, those things are awesome. I mean, I couldn't believe how much wattage I was getting out of those going into the system when I had it out there on one of our sunny days, which aren't that many. So those are awesome. But yes, you should be able to use any solar panel that are out there in the market. All you have to do is make sure that you get a splitter that converts from the either MC4 or Anderson connector from the solar panel to the 8mm, and the OPS also has an Anderson connector input for input power. So it has the Anderson connector and it also has the 8mm that goes into it. So as long as you can splice into that or use the splitter for any MC4 solar panel or 8mm solar panel, you can put it on in OPES. All right, it doesn't have to be the ones that come with it. Laura B asks, will chocolate candy go bad if vacuum sealed? I've got chocolate bars that have been vacuum sealed for years, and I've got chocolate candy. I've got the little miniature chocolate chips. I have had them vacuum sealed or dry canned for years and years and years. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. We actually just took out a quart jar here, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago of chocolate chips. There were absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're already about 5, maybe 6 years old now. Wendy asks, which generator do you recommend for a small condo, enough for a refrigerator? Well, pretty much any solar generator that will accept a refrigerator or the wattage that you need for a refrigerator. Okay. Now, I know for a fact that the Opus 2400, I think you can see it back there, that the 2400 will do that. No problem, because I've never come across a refrigerator, a refrigerator / freezer, side by side like I have, or top and bottom or bottom or top. I never come across one that would take more than 2400 watts continuous in order to charge it. But what you want also is you want to be able to maximize the length of time that you can keep that refrigerator or freezer running. So a very easy way to determine how much wattage you need is, I'll go ahead and leave the link to this video on the right hand corner. I think I'm pointing to the right hand corner. I'll leave the link to that video up there, a card for it, so that you can go check it out, where I show you a small piece of equipment that costs like 20 bucks that will tell you exactly how many watts your appliance uses. That way you can determine what size solar generator you want as far as continuous wattage output, and what size you would want as far as the size of the battery, depending on how long you want it to run that appliance. So go check that video out. It's very easy to use, and like I said, it's a cheap instrument or a cheap tool that you can get on Amazon with no problem. The Margo 420, what temperature is needed to seal a Mylar bag? Iron and flat iron. If you've seen any of the videos where I actually seal my Mylar bag with my flat iron, like clothes iron, I just put it on high. I put it on high, but the key is to make sure that you never leave it in one spot at one time. I'm always moving it around. The entire time that I'm sealing that bag, I'm moving that iron back and forth to make sure that I don't burn through to any one spot. I've always put it on high. I guess it would depend on what temperature difference the iron that you may be using and I'm using is. Right? I've never actually taken the temperature of what it is. That's something that I may do in the future just to see what it is. Marty Lauderdale asked, Rudy, what brought you to Alaska? Well, Alaska was my last duty station in the Army. We PCS'd up here from Washington State, from Joint Base Lewis McChord, right, in Washington State. We were here about a year before I asked my wife, hey, I really like it up here. What do you think about retiring up here? And she said yes, and I said yes. So that's what brought me up here to Alaska, was the Army. Maxine asks, can you store powdered milk in Mylar bags with 5-gallon buckets? I don't see why not. I have a whole bunch of powdered milk that I bought from the Latter-day Saints from the LDS cannery years ago. It came in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, and it's doing just fine. I opened one up, I think, a couple of years ago after I'd had it for a few years. Absolutely no problem with it whatsoever, and it is labeled or rated to last 25 years in those Mylar bags. So I would say yes, just from that. Have I ever actually done it myself? No, but doing it yourself should, in my opinion, produce the same results as someone doing it in a production facility. Kitsy Witsy, how are you, Kitsy? Ask, how is the food pantry doing in your area? The food pantry is doing okay. We were able to take care of the kids this last summer that were not in school, that needed help, and that is great. That was the goal for the summer, in addition to continuing to feed families that need help throughout the North Star Borough, which is the borough in which we live here, that encompasses all the little towns and villages in this area. Laz R47 asks, do you have any platinum coins? I think I have a couple of small platinum coins, and I think I have a little 1-gram bar that I bought a long time ago. Don't really do platinum too much as a preservation of wealth. If I was an investor, however, and I'm not giving investment advice, I would probably be stocking up on platinum. and holding it as an investment device, because I think that within the next couple of years, platinum is probably going to take the place of palladium, because palladium is getting so expensive. Busy Girl asks, for anyone, 100 oxygen absorbers, 300 cc each for $15. Is that a good price? In my opinion, that's a very good price. Okay, in my opinion, 300 cc's, 100 oxygen absorbers for $15 is a good price. Pamela asks, any info on Jackery generators? I've never reviewed a Jackery before. However, I've seen good reviews about Jackeries. So I would say that if you're looking into getting a Jackery, if you can find a good deal somewhere or if somebody is selling one, just do a little bit of research. You can go on some other channels that have reviewed Jackeries. They haven't been able to get me one up here, so I haven't been able to review one, and I can't buy one and have them ship it up here. So sorry about that, but I just wanted to acknowledge your question and tell you, go ahead and look for it. Look for Jackery reviews. Just type it into YouTube and you should get a whole bunch of them. Free Will asks, have you got any 1 gram silver tabs for currencies? I do, but I only have them as numismatics, meaning that I bought them because I thought they were cool. I didn't buy them because I thought that they were cost effective. They definitely were not. The smaller the piece of silver or gold you get is, the more of a premium that you pay on that. And I got them because I think that Jerry over at the Alaska Rare Coin Shop, he had a couple of little 1 ounce bags with like 30 little grams or 31 little grams. So I was like, wow, those are so cool. But definitely paid a good premium on those. I just thought they were cool, so I got them because they're nice to look at. And who knows, one day I could use them, but I would not recommend to anyone that you get it like that unless you just want to get it because you're getting something cool. And ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a very important message. This is not a question, it was just a comment that was left. But let me tell you why it is so important that you share not only my videos, but videos from other preparedness channels that are trying to wake people up that they need to be prepared. And here, Jane Bush, and I appreciate Jane leaving this message. Jane says, AP, I'm so glad that you are doing these shows. I know a lot of people's eyes are being opened, and this is the important part. She says, at first, my husband thought I was nuts for prepping, but after watching your show, he is on board now too. Now, I'm not reading this comment to take any credit whatsoever, but people will wake up if you share with them, especially if it's someone that you love and that loves you. People will wake up. It may take them a little bit of time, but share this content with people that you love, people that you think may need a little nudge, a little push into waking up to the fact that we do need to be prepared. Christian asks, how do you know that bugging out is the safe thing to do? Where do you go if you are unable to set yourself up to bug out? I never plan on bugging out, but always have a plan to bug out in case you have to. But worst of the worst case scenarios, I plan on going somewhere where absolutely nobody would want to go to wait out, to wait out whatever crisis it may be that pushed me to bug out. But I don't ever plan on bugging out, but do have a plan to bug out. Right? You understand what I say? I never plan on bugging out, but I have a plan in case I ever have to bug out, because you can't control everything. But I don't think that you should ever make yourself a refugee. Don't ever become a refugee unless you absolutely 100% have to. Angela Picerno, are you the one that won this a long time ago? And I'll take your word for it if you won. If you won this, I remember I gave this away, and I still have it here because I never got an email from the person that won this, and I don't remember if it was you or not. I don't remember what live stream it was. If you are the one that won this little jar of shredded cheese, freeze-dried shredded cheese, email me your information to the onewinnerwinnerchickendinner2@gmail.com email address. Okay? It's the same email address that I had up during the live stream yesterday. And in line with that same question right there, Busy B asked, can you show us how to freeze-dry shredded cheese? Well, I've shown you how to do it. I've got some videos out there where I actually show you what I do to freeze-dry shredded cheese. Very, very easy if you have a freeze dryer. All right? So check out that video if you want to go see how I do it. But it's very easy process. Probably the easiest process that I've done on freeze-drying anything that I've freeze-dried in my freeze dryer. Priceless Sound asks, hey, Alaska Prepper, how do I store noodles or pasta and great products you recommend. How do you store them? Watch my videos on how I store them. I have a lot of videos out there showing you how I store and put away my foods for long-term storage. I did a video not too long ago where I showed you that I was dry canning some macaroni, all right, some organic macaroni. Now this is hilarious, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And I appreciate this comment. Prepping for It says, if AP was an Indian, all right, he says that if I was an Indian, my name would be Long Wind, all right? So thank you, because when I first read this, when I was reviewing the chat for the live stream yesterday, I had to stop the video because I was laughing for like 5 minutes and I had to clear my eyes a few times. But that, you know why that's so funny? It's probably true, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I'm here doing a live stream or a video. Am I supposed to not talk? So thank you for that, prepping for it, because that gave me a really good laugh. I appreciate the jokes. Old Dad says, say hi to my kid Zoe. So hello, Zoe. I'm not sure if you're the same Zoe that I already said hello to. All right? So hello, Zoe, again, just in case. I won't even go back and check. I'm just going to say hello, Zoe. And thank you very much for being here with your daddy. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for all of the questions. And again, thank you very much for joining in yesterday. Had a really good time. All right, I'm going to be giving it at least another day, probably till tomorrow, before I check my emails, so that I can get everything ordered and get the information sent to Rockhouse to send out those 2 solar generators. Congratulations to all of the winners, and I want to thank every one of you that joined in yesterday. Like I said, again, had a great time. And if you want to support the channel, ladies and gentlemen, I never ever ask for money, okay? I used to have a charity link, buy me a coffee link, a long time ago, and it's still up on some of my old videos. And every once in a while I get a $3 donation on there, which I'm not going to say no, because I do take that money out, whatever's in there, before I do a donation, and I go ahead and pay it forward to whoever the charity may be. I never ask for money, but if you want to support the channel, let an ad or two run through. You can donate 15 to 30 seconds of your time, and if you have a long ad, just click off at 30 seconds. If you have a 15-second ad, let it run through. That really does help, because many hands do little work. All right, that helps a lot. If you're going to buy something anyways that I'm affiliated with, for example, I'm affiliated with the Opus. All right, so if you're in the market to buy a solar generator, go check out the Opus. It truly is my new favorite solar generator. That's why I asked them if I could affiliate with them, because it is my new favorite solar generator. It's one notch above the Blue Eddy, and I still love the Blue Eddy, but man, I really do love that Opus brand. Good quality brand. If you're looking for long-term food storage, the very best long-term food storage that there is in the market, in my opinion, it's the most nutrient dense. It has more nutrition than anything you're going to find out there. Of course, it's Nutrient Survival. And not only that, the people at Nutrient Survival are great people, and they're my friends. And they wouldn't be my friends if they were no good. They are good people, right? And they produce a great, great product, right? And of course, if you're going to do any kind of shopping or anything like that, and you don't hate Amazon, I know we all have a hate-love relationship with Amazon. And some people have a hate-hate relationship. But that's how we can, here in Alaska, that's how we can mainly get the things that we get here in Alaska, especially myself, because it's just not available. So if we want something, more than likely Amazon's going to have it, and more than likely if it's not available in the community, they'll have it. So if you're going to do your shopping through Amazon, use my link as well. That helps also. Other than that, I want to thank you all for all of your support for all of these years. I can't believe it's almost been 6 years already. It'll be 6 years this November. I think it'll be 6 years this November. I forget when I started the channel, whether it was in November of 16 or 17. I forget, but I think it was November of 16. But I'm saying now, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, have a great day. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out. God bless.